Alright guys, this is a very short and pretty much simple. I'm not going to be getting into much here as far as taking stuff out or not because I've already done it, but this is pretty much removing your starter. If your starter goes bad, remove an installation. From what people have said and what I've researched online, that you do not have to take this throttle body off. I believe that is 100% untrue unless you have a lift and unless you have the right tools and mirrors and whatever else, the exact and proper tools. I didn't see any other way to do it besides taking off the intake manifold. I tried to do it without that, and there was many curse words that came out of my mouth. So, okay, if you want to remove your starter, pretty much take off the manifold, because it is 10 times easier, because it is right in there. You can barely see it, but that's it right there, inside that rod now. Oh, focus right. Yeah, it's in there. It's in there. There's a sensor there. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so take this guy off. Well, let's focus that. Take this guy off, okay? For those that don't know how to take it off, it's pretty simple. You're got your bolt set, obviously they connect them to the block. Where am I at here? Gold bolt there. Bolt there. There's a bolt there. Yeah, bolt there. Bolt there. Okay? So take that guy off. This tube right here, you're going to need to take that off too. I broke mine off, snapped it off right here, so I had to use some JB weld to put this guy back on. But you'll need to take it off from that gold piece right there. And then this tube comes out. I should have a bolt right there probably. I'm not sure. No bolt there. That was for the cover. I don't have a cover anymore, and that's the fuel rail. So don't take off the fuel rail. You don't need to do that. Okay, and then you've got that guy there. You got to take this guy off. Just unclip it. Nothing comes out. Don't worry about that. Take all this. Take this mumbo jumbo off. Take this here. You'll smell fuel, but nothing comes out, so you don't got to worry about that. Sensors. Take off your sensors. There's a sensor there. Sensor there. Sensor down there somewhere. Where are you at? It's down there somewhere. Okay. You got your throttle lines right here. Make sure you just, unclip them, whatever. Intake. You got to take your throttle body off too. That's, comes apart with it, or comes along with it, sorry. I have a colder intake, so just, take that off. Boom. And the intake manifold's got 4 bolts on it. I can't really show you where they're at. I think there's one right there next to the intake. But there's 4 bolts on it that, come off. And that you'll be able to take the throttle body off with if you remove those. So this just, okay, hold on. Radiator hose, don't worry about the damn radiator hose. You don't need to take that off unless you really, really want to. There's a couple hoses down there that are right there. See that rustic one? The one that runs down. Yeah, it's hard to, let's get my finger in there. Okay, not this guy, the other guy. Okay, you gotta take that one off. There's another hose there. You'll see it once you take it off. But it's going to leak antifreeze, a lot of it. Someone said 2.5 cups. No, it's gonna leak a shitload more. I mean, pretty much depends how much you have there. But when I took it off, it leaked a shitload. So make sure you have a good drip pan or whatever, a deep drip pan. Now, doing this, you need a universal joint to get to some angles for some of these bolts, so make sure you get that. And I need, for the intake manifold, let's come underneath here. Front bumper's off just because I changed the hood latch support. I know this is a little, okay. Alright. Get underneath the car, and the intake manifold has supports, which is this black guy right here, and then the other one right across the way, that guy there. See, there's bolts way up there at the top of those brackets. That's the starter right there. there's bolts up there that you'll need to get to, and I believe those are 12s, whatever, you'll have to figure it out. But very, very difficult to get to unless you have extensions. I used two, I believe it was a 14-inch or two 7-inches and then a smaller one, and then I used a U-joint to get to it. Any which way that you can get to it, I mean, if you don't have a lift, it's going to be very, very difficult to get to. You're still going to need those extensions, but those mounts right there, intake manifold mounts, you'll need to take those off to get that intake manifold off. And off the top of my head, I can't remember what else down here. You can see that the big bolt right there to the left of the bracket is one of the bolts for the starter. Don't forget to put everything back on. Obviously put everything back on that you took off the starter. I forgot the copper piece onto the starter. I guess that was a ground. I'm not sure, because once I put it on, reinstalled it, the bastard didn't. It started fine for 3 days, and then intermittently would start, but then I realized that I didn't put that copper piece on. I don't know if it's a ground or not. I haven't researched that, but once I put it on, it started starting fine. So that's as quick as a tutorial as I can possibly get. I know it's 6 minutes long, but take this guy off too, because you won't be able to get to the bracket up there without taking this guy off. It's real simple. One bolt here, one bolt there as well. And that is it. You'll figure it out if I'm missing something. Later, bros.